Welcome back, everyone. I'm really glad you're joining me for this explainer today because we're looking at a massive shift in the actual plumbing of the global financial system. We're talking about the ISO 20202 transformation, specifically the critical structured data shift hitting us in 2026. If you're managing cross-border payments, banking infrastructure, or corporate treasuries, you already know this isn't just some minor IT patch. It's a complete data quality overhaul that's going to fundamentally change how payments are processed worldwide.
So let's just dive right in with the billion-dollar question. And I mean, literally, billions of dollars are on the line here. What exactly happens to your cross-border payments on November 14th, 2026, when the SWIFT CBPR Plus deadline officially hits? Seriously, take a second and think about the sheer volume of transactions your organization routes every single day.
Well, here's the alarming reality. If your data formats aren't updated, those payments are going to be rejected right at the network level. We are talking about a hard stop. Non-compliant messages using old, unstructured addresses will literally be nacked, negatively acknowledged, and they will stop dead in their tracks. The days of best effort processing are totally over. If the data isn't structured correctly, your payment doesn't even make it through the gate. Because this mandate is so complex, let's quickly map out how we're going to tackle it. First, the 2026 payment cliff. 2, fixing the format flaw. 3, the strategic payoff. 4, bigger than just SWIFT. And finally, 5, your roadmap to compliance. All right, Section 1, the 2026 payment cliff and the end of free text. The absolute core of this mandate is this. Starting November 14th, 2026, fully unstructured free text postal addresses are out. Global payment schemes, we're talking SEPA, CHAPS, HVPS+, and of course SWIFT CBPR+, will simply no longer accept them in payment messages like your pax.008 or pain.001. That era of cramming an entire address into messy, generic free text lines where some human has to guess if Jersey means the state or the island, yeah, that's officially over. Moving to Section 2, fixing the format flaw, where we compare structured versus unstructured data. Now, the anatomical difference in the data is actually pretty fascinating. Contrast the old way, a chaotic, unstructured string of text where a human can read it, sure, but a computer has to guess what's a street and what's a city, with the new way. The target state is a fully structured format made up of precise, machine-readable blocks. This is what allows automated systems to process everything with zero human intervention. In that fully structured format, every single piece of data sits in its own dedicated XML tag. You've got an explicit tag just for the street name, one for the building number, another for the postal code. It completely eliminates any guesswork for the routing and compliance systems. The computer knows for a fact that US is the country code and not just the end of a weird street name. Now look, the industry totally recognizes that jumping to 100% structured data overnight is a massive headache. So while fully structured is the ultimate goal, SWIFT is allowing what they call a hybrid address format. It's a transitional setup where you provide the absolute minimum structured elements, alongside up to 2 free text address lines maxed out at 70 characters each. But insider tip here, treat this strictly as a stepping stone. Please do not use it as an excuse to permanently keep poor quality data in your systems. The absolutely crucial thing to remember about this hybrid format is the bare minimum requirement. To even pass validation, the town name and the country code must be independently identifiable, structured XML fields. They cannot be buried in a free text line anymore. If your system can't separate the town and the country into discrete tags by November 2026, that payment is going to fail. All right, Section 3, the strategic payoff and why this all actually matters. The business payoff here is honestly phenomenal. First off, clean, structured data gives you drastically improved straight-through processing, or STP. That speeds up transaction times globally because nobody's doing manual reviews. Plus, it gives you highly accurate sanction screening and anti-money laundering controls. When your compliance tools can instantly isolate debtor and creditor locations without parsing messy text strings, you're going to see a massive drop in those annoying false positive flags. And that ultimately means stronger fraud controls and a dramatic reduction in manual payment repairs. On to Section 4, bigger than just SWIFT, because we need to talk about the ripple effect. It's a huge mistake to treat this purely as a SWIFT messaging change. Think about the entire payment lifecycle. That address data originates way upstream at customer onboarding and inside the master data. If you've got a messy address sitting in a corporate ERP system, it breaks the chain long before it ever hits the actual Swift payment rail. You just can't wait until the payment reaches the network to try and fix it. This transformation has to happen right at the source. Because of that ripple effect, literally all channels are impacted. Even if a corporate client isn't sending native ISO 2002 files to the bank still has to construct a compliant downstream instruction. That means legacy MT101 score channels, host-to-host connections, and your bank ERP APIs all have to adapt to capture structured data. You might even have to update the user interfaces on your bank portals just to mandate separate fields for town and country. Finally, Section 5, your roadmap to compliance and your actual next steps. With the stakes this high, here is a 4-step action plan to get your organization ready. Step 1. Audit your ERP and master data right now to hunt down those free text addresses. Step 2. Cleanse and remediate. A great industry tip here is to use automated parsing AI and NLP tools, like Swift's AI address structuring model, to pull town names and country codes out of those millions of legacy records. Step 3. Enhance your channels and APIs for capture, making separate fields mandatory for any new onboarding. And Step 4. Test end-to-end message transformation with your banking partners to prove your XML schema is fully compliant. I really cannot stress this point enough. Banks cannot solve this entirely on their own. You have to engage your high-volume corporate customers early. Corporates are the ones who actually source and maintain this creditor address information. They have to clean up their vendor master data and fix their standing payment instructions. If you're working at a bank, you need to start warning your clients about potential payment rejections like yesterday. At the end of the day, November 2026 isn't just an address format change. It is a complete payment data quality transformation. Embracing this standard is a strategic opportunity to bulletproof your global payment operations, slash manual errors, and build a leaner, faster financial ecosystem. The deadline is approaching fast, so looking at your own systems right now, just how clean is your data? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and good luck out there.